Hello and welcome to the RWBY and Beyond podcast. It is Tuesday night, right? It's still Tuesday. I just woke up from a 3-hour nap. We are talking about RWBY Chibi Season 2 episodes 5 through 10. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in the conventions the last few weeks. We're going to talk about the new Weiss trailer we got yesterday. And we're going to theorize about the future trailers coming up. I am your host, the incomparable Mediocrity 4.
I'm the man who just got home from Weeb World itself, Japan, and the RWBY Anime Expo panel, even though that was all a couple weeks ago, but still, this is the first podcast since then. I am Dude, why does Blake suck? Sorry, I'm Dude, what the heck?
After cutting my teeth and testing my sanity in Players Unknown Battlegrounds, I'm back. It's me, High Powered.
I'm new here, so my name's just Keyboard Kitten.
And I am the Sword in the Darkness, the Watcher on the Wall. I am Robert, third of his name.
I wish my name was that cool.
Nice. I gotta... no offense to everybody else, including myself, though, I really miss Sock's intros.
Oh, me too. I wish Sock could have been here.
I miss his intros so badly.
Miss me, Sock.
All right, so let's get the RWBY Chibi stuff going. So,
because we waited too long, and there's more now to talk about than last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the main reason why we waited is because we had all the Anime Expo going on, and then RTX was the week after that. Then Evo was this last weekend, and then we got that Weiss trailer, and
so we've got a lot of good stuff.
all right, now I want to just stop everyone for a second here. So, just I'm going to read directly from the Rooster Teeth website. RWBY Volume 5 Weiss Character Short - premieres October 14th. What did they mean by this?
That is a little bit misleading.
What?
I know it means that the volume itself premieres on the 14th.
yeah, they did the same thing with the Red trailer last year
Yeah.
Yeah, they messed it up.
with the RWBY character short.
Keep in mind, guys, they are from Texas. They do speak English a little bit differently than everybody else, so
Oh, shots fired!
And yes, I know that High Powered is also from Texas. I am aware of that.
And Kitten's also from Texas too. Just keep that in mind.
I take offense to that.
Oh, man, that was awesome. That was perfect.
You're ready for that.
Yep.
Well, I have like a SBR with a silencer within reach. I have my 1911 within reach. So
Yeah. Love Texas.
I live in California, so I have a soda bottle and a water bottle within reach.
I was gonna say, aren't the 2 liters illegal? Oh, wait, no, that's New York. Okay, so
I drink from glass bottles. Excuse me, I'm from California, so I'm
Oh
a
my
hipster,
gosh.
okay, right?
you could always
Jesus,
trade in for
my
your
soda
5
only
cents.
has real sugar in it, okay? God.
Gosh.
Meanwhile, if I were to list all the stuff that I have on my freaking cluttered desk within reach, we'd be here all night.
And this is why it's called the RWBY and Beyond podcast, not the RWBY.
All right,
podcast.
so episode
So-
5. We're starting with episode 5, right? Or-
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 5.
No, episode 5 is
the one that
Girls
had the-
Rock.
Yes,
This
and
is
it
like the one that had the
starts
trailer.
and it starts with the skit Fearless Hero,
Yep.
starring Jean as the Huntsman and Zwei as Wonder Dog, and Roman Torchwick as he might as well be Mojo Jojo at this point.
You might as well be
And
He's
also
like-
frickin' Mercury pointing out the obvious at every turn he can.
Mercury
Well,
and Emerald. Yeah.
Emerald. Emerald's,
And
like, it's, just
Emerald's
that,
more on point.
it's just that goofy John kid who's always falling over stuff.
Shut up!
Yeah, the hammer of silence and the gauntlets of shut up. I wonder what Nora and Yang feel about that.
They weren't too happy about it by the end
they
of that
definitely weren't
skit.
happy about that in the skit. No, this was a good skit, man. I loved this one.
Yeah.
Personally, the villains are honestly good. I don't know if I've seen a villain skit yet that hasn't been at least somewhat enjoyable. Like, Neo is always adorable, and the
I
Wile
love
E.
Neo
Coyote.
so much.
She's like a smart Wile E. Coyote. Like, I love that. She's never not funny. She's never not adorable. Emerald is always like overly on point, and Mercury's even sassier than usual. And the use in Yuri Lowenthal's voice,
And he actually gets lines.
Yeah, he actually gets lines. And as I said before, Cinder in Chibi has made me really respect Jessica Negri as a voice actress.
Much more entertaining.
She's doing a really good job.
Over the top, cartoony, but in a good way.
In such a great way.
Yeah.
Like, she is really knocking it out of the park in Chibi. So, like,
Do you know who I'm really waiting for to show up in Chibi?
Who?
Salem.
Oh, yes.
That would be interesting, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Anyway, I might have said this last time we talked about Chibi, or one of the other times we talked about Chibi, but Cinder in Chibi reminds me of, if you guys have ever seen Shaolin Showdown,
yes.
she is Jack Spicer. She is Jack Spicer. She is a female Jack Spicer, just so in love with just the idea of being evil that she actually turns out to be kind of incompetent.
That's actually about right.
I think the best part about that is like I remember watching Shaolin Showdown or whatever it was called again. I always like the episodes whenever like Jack Spicer had to be a good guy, and he does it better than being a bad guy. And he doesn't want to admit it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's been years since I've seen that show.
Yeah, it was a neat show. It was a neat show.
I liked it.
It was cute.
It did not give two shits about continuity, but it was a decent show.
What was the next skit after the Huntsman?
It was Whistle, which
was a Blake as a cat joke. It was a Blake cat joke.
It's a
forget about the adorable cat.
Oh, and also it was Zwei, Blake, and Velvet, all three freaking out from Ruby's dog Whistle.
Whistle. It was like not cool.
And also good reason why Weiss should never own any pet, because it'll just end up destroying the whole place in 3 seconds.
Because you won't have an intern to scold it. Yeah.
Yes. That's so.
The only thing that Weiss can't be mad at is pets.
Clearly, yeah, pretty much.
She can be mean to everybody else except for pets.
That was established in the show too, also, which was even better.
Yep, that's true.
Yep, that was very much in character for
her and Zwei.
And my headcanon for that is, and this really isn't that much of a headcanon because I bet it's true, it's because she's always wanted a pet and her dad never let her have one.
Probably.
Yeah. There was a fanfiction that started coming out after Volume 2 that I read. By I think the writer's name was The Last Sonata. They ended up doing a trilogy, and the first part was Innocence, and it was a White Rose. It's the best White Rose story I've ever read. But the first chapter has Weiss having like this kind of mental breakdown because of her failures during the whole like White Fang train debacle at the hands of Chainsaw Bane, and she like just curls up next to Zwei and basically confides in him because she feels like Zwei is the only one who won't judge her. It was a good story.
So why is it just judging internally the entire time?
Were you gonna say something, Keyboard?
Heavy brackets.
Nope, but just enjoying the joke now.
Yeah.
But that's something to say. So.
That one was that short one was one of the best ones, though.
It was a really good one.
And then it was after that. It was the whole Battle of the Bands thing.
Girls Rock.
Yeah, Girls Rock.
Yeah.
And then
Melt their bones.
Tai Yang Beam, a typical dad.
I felt like this one was kind of a long setup for not that much of a payoff, personally.
Yeah.
It wasn't as funny as the other two. The other two were super funny.
Yeah.
Especially because they've ones that I've liked the least this season, for the most part, have been like all the Tai Yang jokes. Like they're kind of drawn out, but
that's kind of part of the joke, though. It's all dad jokes.
Yeah, except
Daddy tries too hard to be a dad.
But for example, they've done other ones that have been drawn out. For example, the Huntsman thing. That was.
You're kind of breaking.
We're losing you, man.
It's not just me. I was about to ask.
Sorry, yeah, my California internet is garbage. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. So it's
And we lost you again.
They're cat. Oh my god, this sucks.
Sorry.
But yeah, tie-in jokes are just, well, honestly, the girl band joke wasn't that funny as I thought it was going to be, since it was the one that was in, like, the trailers for season 2.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The band.
Yeah. So in that
They
episode,
kind of ended up being lame.
Fearless Hero was my favorite skit in that episode for all the reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Among them are right now. I think are the last couple weeks I've been watching Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, that's right.
That will
is
do
such
it.
a good show.
It is such a good show. I'm on volume 4 right now, which is when things kind of start getting really weird for the show. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I liked.
yeah, mostly because of that's when Superman the Animated Series started, and they changed Batman to be kind of in continuity with that, and so yeah, they changed a lot of the art style, and they did a bunch of redesigns on all the villains, ruined the Joker.
I will say though,
Totally.
I think the best part of that girl band part was how unexcited everyone was. Like Yang's all into it, like just like please, I just want to go back to reading my smutty Ninjas of Love book.
Actually, she was reading The Howling.
Yeah.
I mean,
What the-
vampire werewolf love triangle book.
Ugh. No. What?
But yeah, so I guess my point of that was like it wasn't as funny. Like so, like the Jean one in the beginning, the Fearless Hero one, that one was drawn out, but it kept being funny. And there's a couple other ones later in this next episode, and the one where they're doing villain classes, like a
Oh,
joke.
the villain class was good.
Those
Yeah.
are all drawn out and hilarious.
We'll get to that.
But the Tai Yang ones are drawn out, and they're only supposed to be funny at the end, and they're just awkward, and they don't pay off as well as those other drawn out jokes do. At least in my opinion, I don't find them that funny. Like
Yeah.
the
It's
Tai
not
one
awkward.
because it's drawn out awkward. Like that's not that funny. That's just Sarah Silverman, and we all know how pathetic that is.
Yeah.
Really bad dad jokes in that one.
So
Yeah. I think I did take one funny thing away though from the Girls Rock one, and Tai Yang's behavior though is that I don't know, when he goes in and he says to them, you know, Ruby, stand up straight, you know, you can melt people's bones and smile. That sounded almost like maternal to me, like something a mom would say.
It's like the mom that brings her daughter to like those 12-year-old pageant things.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
God,
makes sense
yes.
which makes sense for Tai Yang because he's a single parent. So it's like, I don't know. I guess it makes sense to me that he would develop a bit of a maternal side to him raising 2 girls on his own. So that was something I kind of liked about this. A nice little touch, but yeah.
that also might be cool.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right, so what? That's the end of episode 5, and that's what I'll just stick
Next
go to
is
6.
episode
Now-
6, which starts off with the creepiest skit.
Oh my god!
Okay, now I was gonna say we're all talking about, man, this joke played itself way too long. This is a long con joke, and it's probably one of the best long con jokes in the entire that they've done.
Oh,
Because it works.
And
It's
it's
like
kind of disturbing.
it's a
that's
cake.
why it's so
Like-
good. Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And like they know like it's disturbing. Like they play the freaking scary music and everything.
The lightning.
And the look on
going-
Weiss's face towards the end, were like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome." She's like, you can tell she's like just screaming in
Internally
agony
screaming.
on the inside.
It was
Oh, yeah.
so
internal and
creepy.
external screaming.
Yeah.
Or I think the best part of it was the shirts and
Yeah, backup bestie.
and I whenever I saw that episode, I appropriately renamed the Discord.
The backup
stuff.
bestie.
Backup bestie.
And so the best part of that was for me was where it's like, oh hey, it's like going out, and then Yang's like, hey, take my motorcycle, and here's some spending cash, and you can just see like a part of Yang is just breaking internally.
Yeah.
And
And then Blake's
and then
like-
Blake tries like scolding them like, you guys are so like easily manipulated. While meanwhile she's actually wearing the backup bestie shirt.
The irony is,
the
though,
most-
that Blake's probably the easiest manipulated character in the entire series.
Yeah.
I feel like Yang is pretty easy to goad.
Oh yeah,
I feel like they're all actually pretty like predictable and easy to like manipulate if you push the right buttons.
Yeah, and
Just play the race card with Blake, the hair card with Yang, and the Eris card with Weiss.
And the hero card with RWBY.
And the card with RWBY, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I just
was
was saying
episode 6
creepy-
the
This creepy side of RWBY was amazing.
it was so creepy.
Like when she's stroking Weiss's hair and like smiling all disturbingly.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
all the White Rose shippers are just foaming at the mouth.
And all the normal people.
And the light.
The lightning was
everything like.
The lightning was perfect.
no. The subtle thing too also was how she had the how Weiss goes to check RWBY's bunk and it's just like a stuffed animal with a wig.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, my big takeaway from this is actually that I watch it and I go, "This is actually why I don't ship White Rose because like why? Well, there's more to it, but it's like Weiss and RWBY, from what I see, would not be friends had it not been for the way initiation turned out and stuff like that. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, can we give shout-outs to the transition card where Neo is running around in Roman's hat?
yeah,
Yeah.
Because that was amazing and Neo,
I want that
was
skin.
adorable.
To me, that's like the equivalent of like the whole boyfriend shirt thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of is actually.
I really want more skits with Neo and Roman. Like so badly.
Yeah. So this.
In the middle of episode 6, we did get a quick skit with Roman called Rat in the Hat, which is basically he's wearing like a Stetson or a trilby or something.
And
That's,
because
that's
his
way
hat
too
is
big
at
to
the
be a
cleaner.
trilby. Sorry, as someone who loves hats, that is way too big to be a
Yeah.
trilby. It's like a Stetson almost.
Yeah,
like
that Stetson
It's also a
was my
fedora.
first guess.
It's also a chibi though.
Yeah.
Too big and chibi.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More like almost a
Stetson was
fedora.
my first guess.
I
It's
don't
like,
think
oh,
it's Stetson. It's
Roman's
definitely
holding
not
up a
Stetson,
store.
actually.
Oh wait, no, he's just holding up his dry cleaner because he wants his hat back.
Yeah.
He doesn't even pay the poor old man. Man, I feel bad for the old man in RWBY. He's always getting the short end of the stick. I kind of want him to be the
He's-
final boss, like the
he's the-
postmaster is in World of
He's
Warcraft.
the best.
He's the
That-
cabbage. He's the cabbage man. He's the cabbage merchant of this show, man. That's really what he is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he just goes, instead of my cabbages. Like that's really the difference.
Yeah.
But no, that's a pretty good one. It's not.
That was whenever he had
Villain.
the bad guy class, though. Is after that little
No,
skit.
no,
right?
it
No, it was
evil-
Meet the
no,
Author.
Yeah, next was Meet
Ah,
the Author. With,
That one's so good.
Which is another
It
really
makes-
good one.
it makes
This was
absolutely
a
no
good payoff.
sense, but just
No sense
watching
at all.
Blake suffer
Yeah, it's
the way
great.
she did.
Tummy rub.
What is the strange emotion that we're seeing from Blake? Panic? Fear? Anxiety? This is weird. This doesn't belong on this character. Oh wait, it all makes sense now because she's really into these smutty novels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like, man, that obedience school really went all out on you, huh? That just made me.
Like RWBY's not even phased.
Yeah, she's just not even phased.
We're talking about wrote a novel without her knowing it. Yeah.
Is it bad that I wanted the author to be like Ty or something, and then RWBY was just like, "Oh, I just thought you knew."
That'd be hilarious too, to be honest. But this was still funny also.
Yeah.
It's more creepy RWBY of just RWBY not being phased by things that are weird, and then being super weird herself.
Well, that's why I love Ruby.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
I like the jokes where Zwei is a lot smarter than the average dog.
Yes.
Oh,
I
I'm looking forward to the
AK
next episode.
AKA the ones where Zwei is smarter than everybody else on screen, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I want in the show where like Weiss somehow manages to save Blake and Blake's like just tentatively scratches behind his ears and is like, good dog.
Oh, you've had skits like that before in like season 1. Like when, I mean, not really a skit exactly like that, but skits with Blake and Swy, and Blake's reluctantly liking Swy.
Yeah. But you mean like in canon?
Yeah.
In canon, it would be great.
It would be really cute, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be adorable. But
So what's the skit after that one?
So that's it. That's it for episode. That's it for episode 6.
Oh,
episode 7 is late for class. Has late for class.
So good.
Evil
that was
class.
funny.
So good. That terrible Eastern European Russian accent.
That was my favorite part of that skit was her Eastern European accent, which was just so bad. This was literally a Looney Tunes episode. RWBY was Bugs Bunny in this episode, and I love that.
Yeah, pretty much.
It did that vaguely Mission Impossible soundtrack, but not Mission Impossible because copyright.
Copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to break into class. Like, God damn
That's
it,
just story
RWBY,
of my
you're
life.
such a terrible student. Need to freaking get to class on time for once.
Yeah, and she's the fastest. She's the fastest cast member, by the way. How is she always late?
It's all those cookies, man. It's slowing her down.
Guess so.
I feel like I feel like she doesn't even wake up until after it's already started.
Yeah, I do that too. I understand.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
I do think it's weird they give detention because this is clearly college and not high school, but whatever.
But then you wouldn't have this joke.
It's kind of in between.
Because funny.
The best part of it, though, is like Ruby's like, "Ha! I finally did it," and then she just dug herself into detention.
Yeah.
And then
At least she made the secret tunnel beforehand, though. That way she's prepared for now on.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a feeling Glenda wouldn't be too happy about. That's another person I want to see is freaking Glenda.
Well,
yeah, but
maybe
will we? Because after that voice, I want them to make fun of how the voice actor rage quit. That would make an amazing Chibi skit. I would laugh my ass off if they did that.
Wait, I got a question. So this is jumping way ahead, but did Winter get a new voice actor?
No.
I
Or
don't
did they
think
just
so.
upgrade the mics? Because she sounded almost completely different.
They upgraded the mics.
No, I feel like
I
she
thought
just
they liked
wasn't
because I
as
feel like-
robotic in the Weiss trailer. But yeah, we'll cover that in more detail.
I mean, I
after
kind
we're
of
done
feel
with
like
Chibi.
Kara sounded a little bit different as well, so you know.
I think they just changed up the mics a bit.
Yeah, that's what I think because I thought Kara sounded different too. So yeah. All right, so that one was a funny one. The next middle one is
the middle one is my favorite skit in this episode, and I think it's the only time that the middle skit has been my favorite skit.
Really?
In this season.
I actually disagree. The one after
Wait.
this is my favorite. It's one of my favorites.
Well, yeah, it's one of my favorite, but it's not my favorite in that episode.
Really?
It's
one of my. The next one's one of my favorites in this whole season. So.
Yeah, must be nice where we see the dark side of Pyrrha's niceness.
Oh yeah.
I do love the call out, especially because this was also written by the new guy, right? What was his name?
No, Must Be Nice was written by Miles.
Oh, interesting. So it's Miles calling themselves out because I feel like this was a call out on them making Pyrrha a Mary Sue, and that's what I kind of thought this joke was.
Just an overly nice person.
An acknowledgement, yeah.
And Nora, and of course it's Nora, the secretly smartest character on that team. Takes a long sip of coffee. That's not always a good thing.
Of course.
Yep.
Jean's our leader. God damn it! Being nice isn't always a good thing.
Really isn't.
Yeah.
Future words have been spoken.
Yeah,
haven't been spoken.
Yeah.
Words.
They suck sometimes.
I thought it was a nice call out. I thought it was I kind of like to use it as a slight fuck you to all the overly annoying Pyrrha fans, but that's kind of why I liked it. But then again, I want them to shut up and burn. So
Yeah, because you're Simon.
as we discussed, I am Simon Cowell. So
Oh yeah, that was before we hit record though.
oh, that's true. We did.
So
yeah.
to catch you up on what we just said, right before we started, I was explaining to Keyboard Kitten how we do things, and I likened it to American Idol, and I'm the Ryan Seacrest. And after saying that, I was like, wait, does that make dude Simon Cowell?
Because I hate everything that isn't Renora. Everything that isn't Renora must die.
Yes.
Yep.
Wait, no.
Pretty much. Especially Oscar. Especially Oscar.
God, give the kid a break. He hasn't done anything
now
yet.
It's
That's the point.
class.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the fucking point. He does have an excellent voice actor, but that doesn't make him good. Anyway,
So-
next up, probably arguably my favorite skin of this entire season of Chibi so far.
Evil
Which
Class.
the Evil Class.
This was so close to being my favorite episode, my favorite skit in this episode, but all the stuff that I've said about Pyrrha in the past just really made Must Be Nice hit home for me in a way that Evil Class didn't.
Okay, first thing though,
Yeah.
B group, but first thing first, can we please take a moment to bask in the light of Chibi Neo and her adorableness?
Is it gluten free?
Because smiling Chibi Neo is like the cutest thing ever.
Oh wait, I've got a question. So the picture that's drawn in the corner, is that an arrowed amber or is that
It's an arrow. It's an arrow. Pyrrha.
It's an arrow
It's got the unholy Pyrrha scream from last season.
Yeah.
No.
Twist the knife a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the part that I like though. So it's Mercury is sitting there and it's like ha, booby trap, and then you're sitting there and he's like, oh, he's gonna say ha, boobies, but he's like, no, ha,
It's
trap.
hot trap.
Which that is a Deadpool joke. That's a Deadpool
Yeah.
reference. Or I don't know if it started for this, but I do know that in one of the more recent Spider-Man cartoons, there's an episode where Spider-Man fought Deadpool, and Deadpool was voiced by freaking Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible.
Yeah,
And,
Isn't that like Williams?
And Deadpool did you said traps.
yes, it is William Swenson. Yeah.
I've been around anime too long. Whenever I hear the word trap, always it's like, ha, draw a girl character, but actually call it a boy, but it's actually a boy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too.
That's what came to mind first, and I'm like,
I do think that was part of the joke, to be honest, and that's why I found it. That's probably why I found it so funny too, because they know anime. They watch a fuckload of anime. I mean, everybody jokes
people
about.
might consider RWBY a web series anime.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, when I was they were at Anime Expo. I was there, and they said, "Hey, we did it. We're anime now." And Carrie,
Okay, so it's official. Okay.
Did they like pull out the samurai sword and like slice off the top of a champagne bottle and just bukkake it all over the crowd? Like, we did it, guys.
that is almost exactly what happened. No.
Oh yay!
But they did. And Carrie does joke about how his screen. Everybody knows Carrie's screensavers is like his anime stuff. So like, I mean, they know what. That's part of what this joke was. I mean, they're using Yuri Lowenthal, who's a famous anime voice actor. So it's like, I think that's part of where that joke comes from, and I love.
Well, and Vic Mignogna, and there's been a couple other ones.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like how in that whole part where freaking it's. Oh no, I forget his name. Torchwick is just sitting there. It's like, why am I here? I am a criminal mastermind. I shouldn't be in this class. And then
they're just like sitting there agreeing with him.
Emerald's like, it's obviously just a stick of dynamite in the cake. And here's the best part of that whole thing is Neo's Emerald's getting panicked because it's about to blow up, and then it leaves with Cinder walking out, and it's like, I hate teaching, and then Oobleck standing there covered in the cake too.
It's Port.
I mean, Port's covered there, and he's sitting there. It's like, so Oobleck was just sitting there like watching them, like supervising them do all this stuff. He's just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'm tenured.
She said, I hate teaching. Port's like, tell me about it.
And for some reason, he's covered in cake too. Yeah, that was
covered in cake also.
He was there the entire time.
In his class.
I don't know what that implies, but I thought it was just fucking hilarious and super.
It's foreshadowing.
Also, again,
what's actually a villain.
Shout out
It's
to Jessica
foreshadowing.
Negri for going so ham on this in this scene specifically. She handed up like crazy with her villain voice,
and
and
it was
I thought it was
brilliant.
It was brilliant.
It's definitely an
Totally stole the
improvement.
whole thing.
She's
Hopefully, it'll carry over to the volume 5
No,
as soon as she gets her voice back.
I'm giving her a.
respect so much. I love.
I actually thought she did a good job in Volume 4 of her subtle not being able to talk that well.
Oh, Cinder was way better in Volume 4 than she's been in previous volumes.
So
way more interesting.
I'm starting
way
to give
more
Jessica
dynamic.
credit of.
Yeah, but I always liked Cinder's voice though.
She's improved as a voice actress, and also the writing has improved because, unfortunately for her, what I noticed is that she had to deliver some of the dumbest lines in volumes 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Like, really poorly written lines that I realized, like, no actor could have made that sound good. So I used to hate on her, but now I realize, well, part of it I think she's just getting better too, but also
I think part of it was the directing was like, hey, do this really stupid condescending voice all the freaking time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when, in Volume 4 was the first time where it was like, okay, do something else.
Yeah.
Actually act vulnerable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can do it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so...
But she does a great job here. She's been doing a great job in Chibi. She did a great job in Volume 4. Oh, also, another shout-out to Neo asking if the cake is gluten-free.
As somebody who has a couple gluten-free friends. Wow.
And Cinder's very appropriate response of, what does that have to do with this? Because that is always what we're thinking.
All the gluten people are triggered now.
Yeah, because every time people ask when something's gluten-free, we are all always Cinder, going, why is that relevant? Why should I give a shit?
The cake is a lie and gonna blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Proceed to order those gluten stuff on the menu in spite of that person.
Also, Roman asking for flan instead of cake. Like, everything. Like, this joke was drawn out and it never stopped being funny.
Yeah.
And then Mercury also laughing at flan. Like, he just kept laughing at pointless shit.
Just autistically laughing at flan.
Yeah.
What's so funny about flan?
And then, episode 8. That opening skit of episode 8
skit.
Pet Party.
is good.
Oh, Pet Party, I like.
This is why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
I find it weird that they use Nora, though, because Nora, and we've mentioned this several times, that she's actually secretly
Made the smartest person
on the
ever.
team. I kind of feel like they should have used or maybe even Pyrrha.
They should have had Ren. They should have had Ren do it. It would have been delivered a little bit better, I think.
Well, and it could be Jean, because Jean was actually utilized excellently in the skit in the background.
Yes.
The one getting beaten up.
Yeah, that's actually the funniest part of the skit.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Zwei just freaks out and just starts wrecking Jean stuff.
Yeah.
Zwei.exe has stopped working.
Yeah. The best parts are just do this without. Also, Ruby say.
You're breaking up again.
Yeah. I think my...
Okay.
We'll talk until he comes back.
Sorry. I think my favorite part of this is because, like, it is kind of that old cliche of the pet has to go to the vet, doesn't finds out it had, so the owner tries to hide it from them, then the pet finds out and freaks out. But I think one thing that I really liked about this is that scene of with Ruby and Nora walking down the hall and talking about it, and just the way, like, and just their movements and stuff like that throughout the entire thing. Their super exaggerated movements were really well animated. That was my favorite part of this entire thing.
Yeah.
And also just like that.
The winks.
Yeah, and topped off with that final head bob by Nora of the vet. I thought that was all really good, so yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea how dogs know that the vet is like a bad thing for them or a good thing for them. I just, it happens. They freak out.
Yeah.
They're just smart like that.
But yeah, so the animation was really good, and
Bad's are a bad thing and walks are a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and so the middle skit is also one of the better middle skits this season. Tie-dye, which I almost did not get until like right after it ended. I was like, oh my god, tie-dye. God damn it.
Ty confirmed dead.
Yes, I was about to just say that. Thank you.
No.
It's like when someone zooms in and like draws the circle. It's like it's confirmed Illuminati. Draws the triangle. It's confirmed Illuminati. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's foreshadowing again. It's foreshadowing. Ty's gonna die.
Because I was like, okay, what's he doing? And I was just like, and they were just like, yeah, we get it. You're wearing tie-dye. Like, he's just so sick of this shit. And then it was like 30 seconds into the next skit that I got it, like, oh my god, tie-dye.
That you're just,
Gosh,
oh, it's a
wow.
god damn it.
Gosh, Dad, stop being so lame. Ugh.
You're talking about tie-dye?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that took a couple seconds. But actually, that was a tie joke that I liked. Because
did
it was
too, yeah.
short and... You know what I mean? That's why I liked it.
Just
And it is actually kind of
Ruby's
funny,
reaction
so
to
I
it.
dug it.
Yeah.
Get it, Dad.
We got it, Dad! Yeah.
God damn it, Barb.
God
yeah,
damn it,
basically
Bernie.
was,
Yeah.
damn it, Dad!
I will say one thing though. Bernie sells it pretty hard whenever he's doing all this chibi voice acting, though. It's
He's
pretty
good.
on point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, he can do it. So.
He's good at
Yeah.
playing the dad.
Yeah, he's just a good voice
Yeah.
actor.
No,
He really is.
He's been doing it for years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he takes it very seriously from what they talked about in the commentaries and stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still, I've actually not watched the commentaries myself, though.
Oh.
Oh my god, the commentaries are amazing. You have to watch.
I've read them.
I've watched.
There you
them.
go.
I want to watch them.
Yeah.
I do.
No, they're great. That's the only reason I even have the.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I would get the DVDs too.
Which, by the way,
I love commentary stuff.
Volume 4 is extremely disappointing because it does not have a cast commentary, and that pisses me off because that's always the funniest one.
Oh.
It's never the most informative. It's never the most informative, but it's always the funniest.
Yeah.
And I'm really mad that it's not
Yeah.
there. So they better bring it back next year because I'm supremely pissed about that. Anyway,
Yes.
Next
So after tie-dye is
the
boy
band
band,
skit,
which I think
more gay-
that this
more
whole
gay Neptune.
okay, yeah, more gay Neptune. I think this band thing is gonna be a reoccurring thing. In fact,
Oh, absolutely.
I think, like,
The villains are gonna have
Villain
this band.
Yes, villain band.
yes!
Just gonna say.
Neo gets to be the singer.
Just because everything is sign language.
I want her to hold up a sign that says "Melt their bones."
Yeah.
The
actually did like
the
the boy
insane
band more
clown
than the girl
posse
band,
and the non-copyright infringing insane clown posse and Kiss references were on
Oh,
point.
That was to me
Yeah.
the only funny part of this skit because I mean that was funny. I love that. What was the call? They call it smooch and
Smooch and insane Jester
lunatic.
Brigade. Or
Yeah,
Lunatic Jester.
If you like
Jester
terrible
Brigade.
music, if you like terrible music, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Girl band, though.
Yeah, I did like though that I actually think this is kind of the most true to Neptune's character that any of the Chibi sketches have done, because this is the first time that like it's been about Neptune's obsession with being popular and cool and
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
Yeah.
that's
yes.
I have to be on the bleeding edge of cool. I live my life on this cool razor blade. It's not an easy life to live.
Yeah, exactly. I have to be cool, nerd. You have to help me be.
Yes.
Yet simultaneously
You're like
revealing that he's gay.
Yep.
Something like
Because
that.
I'm not gonna drop that until it's confirmed that he's not, because really obvious.
Oh man, I like this is the one thing I'll bring it up to, which we talked about earlier. Is I'm surprised how this didn't trigger a lot of people in the RWBY fandom with the dead Monty joke with the whole allergic reaction.
Oh, I know. I wish I had that last.
Well, I
year
don't
when we
think.
I hope we had this joke. I wish we had this joke last year when we got kicked out of that other shitty Facebook group.
Wow, was that actually a year ago?
No. That was at the end
That
of
was
Volume 4.
5 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go.
That's back in February.
Back in February.
A year ago. Wow, it feels like a
Oh,
year
whatever.
ago.
It does feel like a year ago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So glad
I do
that
wish I
It's
had
one of the
though.
few bands I'm very proud of having under my belt. It feels good.
Getting kicked out of a Facebook group. Yep.
I am so happy that happened, honestly.
Yeah.
It's kind of bullshit still.
Yeah. Let's not get
And
into
also
that right now.
simultaneously kind of getting it shut down too.
Yeah!
That was
Yeah.
my fault. That was all me.
Rogue One
That was a combination of
And
us.
we still love you
did
for it.
very well to that moment.
High powered.
I was
Yeah.
Jin Urso in that
Yeah,
moment.
I mean, joke in there. Surprised they did it, and I'm even more surprised that. Well, I don't know if I should be surprised about that stuff or too stupid to realize that it was there.
I didn't get that joke, honestly.
Yeah,
until
I
y'all
did.
just now.
I didn't get it until High
Boost.
Power pointed it out to me when I was on Voice later that day.
Yeah, so like I can understand why a lot of people didn't see it either and didn't have like an uproar about it.
See it until I watched it the second time, so I didn't notice it either. But I'm just making fun of the people that would get upset, and I can't believe they didn't.
Well, I think the people who would get upset about it are the ones who are less likely to pick up on jokes like that.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Oh, the
ones.
dead Monty joke. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we start talking about.
Yeah.
What was the skit
thought
that
I
was
got it.
after that though? I'm trying to remember.
It would be
Coming home to Roost.
that was the end of the episode.
Oh,
And then we got the episode that came out RTX weekend, which had Coming Home to Roost, which has one of my favorite Looney Tunes / Tom and Jerry type of jokes. The guy who goes all the way around to the room, opens the window, then goes all the way back out in order to climb in
just so
through
he
the
can
window.
fly it.
And I literally just watched the Looney Tunes skit where Bugs Bunny rows on over water to a boat. Yosemite Sam swims over, grabs the oars, swims them back to the rowboat, puts them in the rowboat, and then rows back to Bugs Bunny again.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Is it bad that I wanted like Crow to show up and Blake be like, "Oh, he's good looking."
I kind of wanted that too because he's exactly the kind of. So I kind of wanted that too, to be honest, because I feel like it makes sense.
If
So-
you just start flirting with everyone.
Maybe it's still
Is
bad.
this-
It's
but
just like,
I-
ta-da!
I was gonna say in the episode that only first people can watch, there's one of my many thought processes about Crow has come to fruition in RWBY Chibi.
Flirting with everyone?
No, this
Yeah.
is why you don't tell. Oh wait, I don't want to say because it'll
Yeah,
spoil
we'll
it for
get-
people who can't
yeah.
watch it.
Aww,
No, we're about it.
I want to
Talk
know.
about the next episode. So we are going to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Okay.
Save it for
So-
the next-
With Crow, a question. So he can turn into a bird.
Yes.
Yep,
We
it's confirmed.
like no more like, oh, it was just an artistic. No, he straight turned into a bird in Volume 4, and
Yeah,
he
they went the
definitely
whole
did in this
Fruits
episode.
Basket transformation thing.
So
yeah.
what
Also,
the fuck is up with the
also-
semblance?
also, fuck those people who say he didn't actually turn to a crow because they're stupid.
The real question is what's Raven's semblance? And I have a feeling it's definitely not those portals. It's probably the maiden.
I'm like
this one theory.
90%. I'm like 99% sure that the portals are some kind of special
Salem.
dust or something, or maybe
Salem.
Gravity
power.
Or
dust.
maiden
Yeah.
magic.
I am still
I don't
I'm
think
still convinced
maiden
that,
magic, because the
that
the
Raven
portals-
works with Salem.
The portals, at least in the opening, seem to be symbolic of the Grimm and
Yeah.
like where they come from. So
Yeah.
I think that it's dark magic, maybe, or special dust, or maybe it comes from the same place where Grimm come from, which is the direction I took it in RWBY Beyond. I had it to where the portals are like gateways, and that gateway stems from the same place that the Grimm come from.
I'm just still convinced that Raven worked with Salem at one point. I am going to stick to that until it's confirmed.
Yeah, well, I could see that.
And then-
I don't
Past thing,
think
yeah.
that, but I can understand. It's not. I don't think it's like a total crackpot idea at all. Like it could definitely be possible.
Yeah. We know that she isn't currently,
yeah.
but in the past maybe. But yeah.
See, Raven is such an interesting character that she could derail a frickin' Chibi discussion.
She really is.
You know who I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
showing up in a Chibi episode? Raven.
Yeah, Raven.
Yes.
Oh god.
I still want my Parent Day skit. I still want that
Yes, please.
with
God, I
all
would
the
love that
parents.
so much. I would love that so much.
Raven shows up, but she's in some really crappy disguise, and Yang's like,
Like the
"Why are you
best
following me
friend.
around?" And Raven's like, "I don't know. Maybe you could figure it out."
Though I do remember there was this one theory like a while ago about Raven's semblance being that she can kind of see into the future a little bit, and I think that could be a semblance. At least I believe
It would make sense with their with the mythological Norse mythology based upon
Yeah,
it. Man,
Hanan
that
and
came
Manan.
out really well. Yeah, that one.
With her being based on a future seeing Raven, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And it's like she does seem to know, like, what she was saying to Ko is that she was right. She knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. So.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, I
Although
know
that
it.
could have just been-
No. Everyone stop. Raven is the Alex Jones of Remnant.
Wait, the what?
I'm sick of putting chemicals in water and turning frogs gay. Oh, Alex Jones. Just, that man is insane.
I love him.
I
He's
I
entertaining.
kind of want him to actually be insane, but for the most part, I know that it is just an act.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay, so after coming home to roost, we have Read the Sign, which is way better than who's the comedian? Who's
The
the
most
comedian
weird
that's always like,
protest
"Read the Sign"?
ever.
Save the bees!
It's that one redneck
Bumblebee for the-
person.
Yeah, it's someone from. It's not
No,
Jeff Foxworthy. Jeff Foxworthy. Is,
I actually think it's Jeff
Oh,
Foxworthy. Actually,
no,
yeah, it's Jeff
here's-
Foxworthy.
No, it's not. Here's Your Sign. Isn't that No, Here's Your Sign. Is
Oh,
not
that's
Jeff Foxworthy. It's
Bill
not Jeff-
Engvall.
It's
Bill Engvall.
Billing.
Billing Vaughn.
Vaughn,
Yeah.
there you go.
I
Yeah,
just
Billing
I
Vaughn.
just knew it wasn't
Billing Vaughn
Larry
does
the
Your
Cable
Sign.
Guy or
Jeff- Jeff Foxworthy
Foxworthy.
does. You might be a redneck.
Yeah.
If. That's what Foxworthy does.
yeah.
And
It's
then,
all pretty like mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the reminder that Weiss is a nerd and a total teacher's pet
Yes.
with
Oh,
her.
that was great.
100%.
That
Trying
was
to
the
get
best.
See,
Yeah.
Weiss, this is why nobody likes you except me. I love you. Please.
Oh, I
marry
love
me.
Weiss.
I
Are
love
you kidding me?
I like
Weiss.
Weiss. She's probably the
Weiss is
best written character in the
yeah.
show so far.
Oh, she totally
Probably
is.
is actually.
It's like Weiss and Neo are like tied for my favorite character in the show.
Yeah, for people don't realize that as much as I love Renora,
Hey, Bumblebee though.
individual characters goes Crow, Weiss, Winter, Ren, Nora, Jean.
Renor.
I like
We-
Winter a lot because I'm a holdout for the Snowbird shipping.
Oh my God,
100%
Snowbird!
Yes.
Yes, Snowbird, please, except for the age gap. But Snowbird, please.
They're both adults.
I'm sure you're aware of the age gap. I won't push it.
Yeah, no, I'm trust me, I'm aware of it. It's the only thing that
The
pisses
age
me
gap
off.
isn't that bad, and it's a safe assumption that people are having babies all the time in Remnant because everyone's dying all the time.
Exactly.
Perfectly
That
reasonable.
is probably true. That's probably that probably is why there's probably a reason that John has 7 sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
also
a
why
lot.
I think that that's why I keep getting annoyed when I tell people, there's a good chance we'll see Ren and Nora's baby by the end of the show, and they're like, no, it's not. That's impossible.
That would be
already
adorable.
18, and
And
based on when Ty had Ruby and when Ty had Yang, I mean, that's
They
definitely plausible.
Yeah, it feels like Ty.
Right out
It
of
feels like
school.
Ty had Ying like almost right out of school. But then again,
Yeah.
probably with Raven, he was like, "Man, I gotta get it in while the getting's good."
Yeah, exactly.
But
Raven just finally freaking cracked from his
Are
jokes.
we
one day.
having sex or are we fighting? I can't tell the difference.
And it was at that tree that Ty was reminiscing.
It was
on.
at that tree when Yang was conceived. It's kind of like the joke of
Yep.
a lot of hunters in
Oh, no.
Texas, where it's like you were probably conceived in a deer stand.
yep.
Yep. This is the tree where you were conceived, Yang. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know
Oh
that
my
one.
god.
I think I made that joke too, also in that
You did.
episode.
That's
Pretty
how
sure, yeah,
he
you
became
did,
a meme.
You did.
Yeah,
I feel like my book will be referenced to go back to the Chibi episode.
yeah. So at the end of episode 9, we had Life Coach, which was Yang giving
no.
John terrible advice.
Yeah.
But for great comedic effect, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And John taking it too far like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
too far.
Oh yeah.
What would have been better is if in the like behind like a pillar or something, you just saw Pierre's unholy scream face, and whenever whenever Weiss said yes.
Or no, it's like one part. It's like that one part in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World with a knife shot going like,
man,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the background, just in brackets, just cucking intensifies.
Oh, I want to see the subtitles
Yeah.
right now.
I don't think they wrote. That'd be hilarious if they did.
Yeah.
Pure unholy scream in subtitles.
I can actually see this kind of thing happening. Yeah, Yang trying to like give Jean life advice, and him just, he's the assertive fitness just doesn't work for him. Yeah. And then that little bit of possible symbolism at the end of him getting pissed on.
Goodness, yeah.
Oh man,
I'm like really. I'm really in love with Weiss's character right now, partially because of the character short we just got, and mostly because I just finished, the other day, no, actually it was yesterday I finished it, my honest look at Weiss, and so, for the last, like, week and a half, I've been looking at nothing but Weiss scenes, as I was working on that video.
And realizing
enjoy
it's
Weiss.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I still need to watch it.
Yeah,
Fuck. Where's
I really want... This is kind of what... I kind of went over this in both my shipping video and the shipping podcast we did, but I think Weiss would be the best person to have a couple ex-boyfriends throughout the show.
Yeah, I saw that post you put on earlier today about how you want to... About, like, Weiss giving Jean a chance and then...
Yeah, and then
for
breaking
whatever...
up... Yeah,
kind of breaking up with
Hooking up with Flint, hooking up with Neptune, hooking up with
I actually would
hooking up with the Yang. That would be good.
her with Flint though, honestly.
Yeah, Flint is the end game for me. That's my favorite Weiss ship.
What's funny, they have like the scene where it's
Ready?
like Flint and Blake are hugging, and then just someone edits in the black.com or whatever into the bottom right hand corner of the screen.
Man, I can totally. Actually, I also don't mind. What's it called? Cool Jazz? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flint and Weiss. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
think
was
it'd be
that was the end game in RWBY on. So for Weiss.
Yep.
But
So
Neptune somehow still manages to sneak it in, though.
Flint's actually one of the side characters that I'm actually interested in. So
is like Neptune in denial about his sexuality? That's what I'm wondering.
probably.
You see, here's the picture.
That's what
though.
we're trying to figure out.
yeah, that's what we're
Does
trying to figure
Neptune
out.
is gay?
No.
Oh my goodness.
No. It's the picture of the dam, and the water just says trap / Fudonaria hentai, and then the dam is cracking, and it says fragile heterosexuality, and then it just says Neptune below it.
Yeah, so Kitty Kirishima actually gave me this idea. When I do an honest look at Neptune, I'm going to start it off with a rendition of the Does Bruno Mars is Gay rumor mill.
Backstreet Boys gay?
No.
No.
No, if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Gay.
Hey,
yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Does Bruno Mars is Gay.
Hang on
I'm
one
doing
sec,
that
I'll
right.
Google it.
It is absurd. Yeah, it's a really like popular
is it the game?
English. It's an English.
Is it the Game Grumps thing?
Yeah, I got it from Game Grumps. Who it's a thing that actually exists. But anyway, rolling on to episode 10. We got Cool Uncle.
Should we talk about Cool Uncle and Cool Dad together because they're kind of two parts?
Yeah, they're essentially the same thing.
If we're gonna do that, then let's start with the middle skit, Clean Behind the Ears, which
Or do
is
we
a
want to
pretty
wait until?
neat skit.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Hey,
just
have
do
So
that.
yeah, Clean Behind the
Sorry,
Ears is just
keyboard.
yeah.
No,
Clean
that's
behind,
fine.
yeah,
It's just a chibi.
Alright.
Yeah, Clean Behind the Ears is just Sun and Neptune and a Geist. The Geist is like haunting Neptune while he sleeps, and then Sun comes in, so the Geist hides in a brush, and then Sun takes the brush into the shower with him, and that's it. That's the joke.
Wait, what? That makes no sense.
Poor guy. Well, because the Geist is now going to be used as just to scrub down Sun's toned, sweaty, hot body.
Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did think it was kind of funny when Neptune asked him, "Why did you even wake me?" Like, kind of just them calling themselves out on, there would normally be no reason for him to just smash the door open and
I
stuff
don't
like
know,
that. I don't know. It was weird.
As somebody who
was a weird one.
has several siblings, they do that.
They totally do that.
Fair enough.
And so Cool Uncle and Cool Dad are kind of a companion piece, and I think it's not so much funny, but it is like kind of heartwarming and endearing and sweet.
Yeah.
And totally taking the piss out of all those crows, Ruby's dad theorists.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like we know you guys really like Crow because he's so cool, but that doesn't make him dad material.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah.
He's literally the cool uncle.
He is the cool uncle.
Oh, here's the thing I like though. So the first part of that,
the cool uncle.
The first skit in that is he's sitting there and he's rolling dice, and then he rolls snake eyes, which, generally speaking, for most gambling games, is probably one of the worst things you could roll. And I'm sitting there, it's like, bad luck.
For craps, I think it's actually one of the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's clever.
Because with craps, you add the numbers of the dice together, but it's not about the score. It's about how rare it is to get that total number. And so, Snake Eyes and Boxcars are the two best rolls you can get because they are the only thing that has 2 and 12 together. So it's like a 1 in however many chance. Likewise, 7 is actually the worst because you can get like 5 different combinations of 7 with 2 dice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Sock was telling me the other day
it's been a long time since I've played dice, so
and I'm just
I'm a little rusty on the
sure it
rules.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I really want to see a dance-off now between Crow, Ren, and Jean sometime.
Yes! Oh,
Is
yeah.
it bad that I want is it bad that I want Crow X Velvet shipping now?
No.
Yeah,
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, Crow flirts
I'm
with
sorry.
Velvet. Just like,
Whatever.
Her name is though, so yeah.
Disregard women acquire currency.
Oh.
Wow.
I did like the but yeah, this sketch pretty much lets us know, Crow is not Ruby's dad. Although, if he does have any kids out there, he has no idea because he never gives out his real name.
Yeah, and
Yep, that's something that I brought up too, also as a running joke.
Oh, no.
And it's like,
that kind of goes with what Mignana said at RTX. With so somebody asked, like, is Crow a father? And Vic's like, I don't know, probably. Somewhere out there, I'm sure he has a kid.
I'm telling you, man.
Anybody would have
gets
no
around.
idea.
Telling you, man, they don't have birth control in Remnant. Everyone's just getting, I got preggers,
No,
whatever.
it's a semblance. It's part of a semblance.
No, he does use protection, but it just doesn't work.
He has really bad luck with that.
Yeah. Well, it's not him, it's the woman, but yeah. He's the baby mama, but yeah.
I don't know, he's got some pretty good genes.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
See my mindset that all the schools are practicing eugenics with pairing up. Most of the teams are like half female, half male, so they could potentially breed better huntsmen.
Oh,
That
male.
was the goal with it. That's the real reason why Ozpin kept Jean around. He knew he had really good genes.
Well,
This
he's
guy's
I
showing
mean,
sisters and no way he's gonna be popping about like nothing.
Oh no. No.
And you just described the plot of every, like, Jean fanfiction.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is so true. It's sad.
We need this guy for a harem.
There is a ridiculous amount of Jean harem fics out there, guys.
Oh god, this is making me think to that one manhwa that I'm reading where the main character is only the main character, literally because he has a magnum dong.
Oh no.
Pretty much. Yeah.
talk about self-insert fix.
It's called Perfect Half if you want it. Oh no. If anyone is interested in what I'm reading, it's called Perfect Half. The translation is terrible for it though.
Oh, that just makes
the
it better.
art's really good.
So this
Man,
is
I'm just
officially the
gonna take
funniest
a sip of
podcast
my
we've
Coke.
ever had. With that and with high-powered cocking his gun at me, I think that's the loudest thing we've done.
Yeah, that's the real joke, is I have a gun and you can't legally, well, you can legally own guns in California, but you own cuckolded versions of guns, well, I can own,
Yeah.
non-cuckolded versions of them.
Yeah, so Cool Dad, and then Cool Dad ends with Crow basically saying, like, job well done, and Velvet being like, but you didn't do anything. Like, didn't I, Rabbit Girl? Didn't I? They're like, yes, he did, because he brought the family closer together.
Also, my favorite part of that
Oh.
entire episode was just he says,
Just what now?
Wait,
my favorite part of the whole skit of this whole episode is where he just goes, I don't care.
Yeah, my name's Velvet. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hitting on the back.
You're not a waiter bringing me drinks, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. That's my favorite.
You're underaged. Too, so.
No, I'm pretty certain Velvet's old enough.
Ain't it?
Oh yeah, Velvet's
Oh.
Velvet's at least 18, maybe 19. Also, we don't know what the age of consent is in Remnant.
I
actually
guess
better than 18.
17, because 17 is the age of consent in Texas, and write what you know.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would.
Yeah.
Hey, that means that Ruby and Jean can be a thing.
Guess what time it is
Yeah,
now?
for-
Ruby's
Yeah.
16 now.
Guess what time it is now? We have to talk
Okay,
about
Ruby.
the stuff that happened at the panels. However best we can talk about that. It might not be so good though, but we're gonna talk about it no matter what. So yeah, there was questions at the Anime Expo panel. Most of them were kind of meh. There was
Most
a
of
few
them were
good
terrible.
ones.
Yeah. That's one of the few good ones.
What? So okay,
Because-
here's the real. So we learned obviously that Miles and Carrie, they know that their pacing is a place that needs to be worked on. But then this is true for a lot of media that we experience nowadays too. Also,
Yeah, especially, like,
I don't
something...
know. I think media's.
Well, web series are... Like, it's clear, especially in Volume 1, that they had no idea how long an episode should be. Like, they tried aping the pacing of Red vs. Blue, but because it's an action show, it doesn't work like it does in Red vs. Blue. Oh, in the later seasons of Red vs. Blue, it doesn't work like it does in Red vs. Blue.
That's also true.
Like, that's probably the biggest complaint I had about season 10
I'm gonna
of
have to stop
RWBY.
everyone for a second. It feels good to be right that Locust will come in and save the day.
Yeah.
I love
done.
Locust.
Oh yeah. So that was my biggest complaint about season 10 of RVB was the pacing. It just made absolutely no sense, and it was because they were still doing the freaking 7-minute long episodes, and they're still. I think they kind of increased the episode length with the Chorus trilogy, but with season 10 they were still doing like the 7-minute episodes, and it just wasn't enough for what they were trying to do, and because of that, a lot of things ended up getting brushed over.
Oh, so by the way, for people who don't know, I asked the question of what are your guys' biggest weaknesses as writers, and what would you want to do to work on that, and what do you want to work on to improve? And they said pacing, just for context of
Yeah.
which was Media's question, and I said he had a good question, so before I went, I was like, "Hey, Media, should I just ask your question?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, sure." At least this question gets answered now, because who knows if he's gonna make it to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna save up money for RTX
RTX.
next year, and me and Soccer are gonna go.
I want to go so badly.
Okay, so I have a
You can
list.
Then you could ask High
Yeah.
Power's question.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
everyone's going robotic, or it's just me.
Something. Oh, wait.
Okay, yeah, you're coming in clear now.
Sounding better, yeah.
Yay!
All right,
All right, I think it's over.
all right.
We get-
So, I took a list of the questions that were asked at RTX during the first RWBY panel. I did not get the second RWBY panel. I was busy. I think Toon got us the gist of it. So
Yeah.
here's what we learned.
Oh, one
Story
real quick
time.
thing that I want to point out about the panel I was at. Sorry, because I did make it to the Anime Expo panel. It was not as good as an RTX. And they wasted a lot of the time just showing the RWBY like TV spot thing they're doing in Japan, and they fucking butchered it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
We can talk about that for a minute. The TV
Is
edit in Japan is awful.
Aw.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
isn't RWBY supposedly
Yeah.
doing like really good in Japan? Like it's
It
doing
is.
It is.
surprisingly
It
well?
is.
The Japanese dub
But
on
they have it,
DVD
they
and
showed
stuff
it.
is really good.
It's
Or
still
it's doing
it's
really
just-
good. I'm not a fan of the Japanese dub on this one.
It just doesn't feel right.
Too many of the characters just sound the same.
That too.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true for a lot of. So I mean, it's nothing new. I get that a lot of times because the Japanese like to make girls all sound the same, like cutesy, adorable kind of.
But then again, you gotta tailor it to your audience too, also. So there's
Yeah,
really
kawaii-
nothing wrong with that.
Kawaii's, but yeah, they're not butchering stuff really in the regular dub. But what they did here is because I watched it, they did a preview and I watched it and a lot out. The two most important and egregious stuff where they cut out Ren and Nora's opening scene together, so you get no context on them and their background.
Yeah.
Dang it.
So
That.
Renora, no background on them, and there's no reason to ship them really, which is really stupid
Yeah,
because then they spend a lot of Volume 4 shipping the fuck out of Renora.
Benora
Yeah.
for the
Probably
win.
even more important,
So
as much
just,
as I'm a
just
Renora fan,
to
is they cut out Jean and Ruby's first
Now
scene
that
together.
is the real
After-
bullshit. Though.
yeah. So just to like illustrate how awful this TV edit is, the actual people behind the Japanese dub are encouraging people to watch it on YouTube instead.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know you failed when that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was terrible, and I was like, "Oh, guys."
Which
And
and,
they waste-
this just goes to show that RWBY was not meant to fit into a TV time slot.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No.
A TV show. It's a web series.
So did they actually cut episodes together to fill out the 21-minute time slot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they did. Honestly, Going TV makes a lot of things worse. Like one of my favorite web shows is a car show called Roadkill, and there's a reason why they still have never gone to TV. That show is amazing. Whatever they want because it's the internet. They drove an actual stock car on the streets, which is completely 100% illegal. And they did it because it's the internet and they can get away with it. If it was a TV show, they'd never be allowed to do that. So that's why you stay on the internet.
You're the one who needs
And then
TV
release-
anymore.
And then release DVDs.
Yeah, and
I
then
like
yeah, it's been happening with movies since the freaking invention of television. So I don't know why anybody's actually surprised that RWBY suffered the way it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so
It was
I'm
so funny.
gonna go through what we have here, what I have here, for the convention stuff.
Yeah, just let media burn through it.
Yeah.
So European language release, they want to do it, but it requires like finding a distributor over there and legal stuff. How did Jean get Pyrrha's weapon? It's their first answer was it's a cartoon, dude. Chill. And they talked about like they probably have spare weapons, spare armor, and stuff like that in their lockers. Waiting for things to render is the most tedious part of the job. Advice for small creators: finish it. I can attest to that. Just finish it. Other languages and Remnant, probably just not proper German, because then it would be Weiss instead of Weiss.
Yep.
In order to have a RWBY/RWBY crossover, it's up to 343 Studios because they license out all the stuff for Red vs. Blue.
Rip.
Most proud of getting it done and improving every year. Thought process on weapons. It's got to look cool. It's got to look like it works, and it has to add to the character's image. Crow inspired by Devil May Cry? Not specifically, but there's probably some overlap there. And the most interesting part of this first panel is the Volume 4 dream sequence got explained, and people still don't get it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh god, yeah.
Wait, what was the explanation?
It was just a dream.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's RWBY dealing with her experiences the night that beacon fell, and dealing with like her own guilt over her own failure at saving Pyrrha. And they even said that the scene in Volume 4 Episode 2 when RWBY oversees Jean training, that this has been like a regular thing, that like RWBY has woken up in the middle of the night on many occasions and has seen Jean training to that recording day in and day, like every night.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't really that surprised, too, when you think back on
Hello,
it.
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, and then people start asking like, why is it an actual like Pyrrha line from earlier in the show? Because it's a cartoon and they reuse fucking voice lines, so they didn't have to record new ones. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they did it in the old engine with that little cutout. I'm kind of glad they didn't do it and give the Pyrrha model in the new engine.
Oh, how they cut out Pyrrha from Poser and then put her in Maya.
Yeah.
Well, no. What they did for that scene, if I remember correctly, is they actually animated what was on the screen in Poser using all the old stuff, and then they rendered that and then just slapped it on, onto the scene.
Edited into the fucking thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Similarly to how they used to like paint characters onto the background and have the like static shots be just painted.
Right.
Cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. But there are still people watching that scene.
All that trouble.
Yeah.
Be making her.
I mean, I'm kind of glad because it throws that whole Grim Reaper theory that I have out the window, but you never really know because we don't know what the Silver Eyes do, so I mean, it's whatever.
I don't think the Silver Eyes bring back the dead.
Yeah, but there's still people who think that it was Pyrrha's ghost or whatever, like, trying to call out to Jean and stuff like that. It's like, your theory now requires Miles and Carrie to have no integrity whatsoever, to have lied to hundreds of people, jeopardizing the entire integrity of the company.
Yeah, and the thing is, they
the
didn't
bottom
even
of the barrel.
And the thing is, they could have easily just been like, spoilers, we'll explain it later. But
Oh,
they
they're
were
not
like,
even-
no,
they
it already
no.
happened. We already showed it. That's it. That it's over.
It's
This
just
is
a
what-
nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are just being desperate and stupid.
Yeah, and this
I
is
would
why-
be okay with Jedi Ghost Pyrrha though, but that's
And-
as far as I'll go, and I even don't want
This
that.
is why I always argue with people who say that Black Sun versus Bumblebee is the most cancerous part of the fandom, when it's very obvious that Pyrrha fans are the most cancerous part of the fandom.
Pyrrha resurrection theorists.
Wait for the win.
Yeah.
Because I like Pyrrha just fine.
Oh,
She was an okay character.
The saving grace is the
I
true
never really-
master, is the
I never really
true,
cared for her.
is the true ship, which is called Banana Split, which is
Yeah.
Sun, Yang,
Yeah.
and Blake.
Blake.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's another
yeah.
name
Look at
for it, but it's
Did
it's
you
stupid.
see?
Banana Split is
I-
Banana Split is way more sexual, and therefore
Yeah.
it's a better name.
Yeah, I filled out one of those shipping charts, and I did just a big like red triangle with Sun, Blake, and Yang.
Nice.
And then I also did like red, like yes for like I did some other stuff, but
It's like that rock edit where it's like, what Ruby ships do you want to happen? It's like all of them at the same time. And he just looks back, it's like, what?
My favorite one so far is when it just had Crow connected to everybody.
that Crow was in the middle and just like that.
Yeah, just lines all to Crow.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Toon did have stuff from the second panel. Anybody who's watching this podcast already knows Yang's arm has a vibrator function. Dude asked that, and they said yes.
Oh yay.
So the RWBY is trying to mix different cinematography styles. That's neat. I look forward
Ruby,
to seeing if
what
it
does
works.
this mean?
This
This is what they call the people who create Ruby?
the RWBY. Yeah,
Ruby.
it's
the Ruby
it's
crew.
dumb. It's dumb.
I like it.
So apparently in Volume 5 we will get an explanation of semblance, which is something that should have happened in Volume 1. Nora's semblance comes from Monty wanting her to jump really high and swing her hammer with a lot of force. I don't know how that equates to electrical absorption, but whatever.
It works.
Thor. Norse mythology Thor.
Yeah,
Gotta charge up that hammer so I can throw it and then just ride along as it flies off into the distance.
Mercenary top bye-bye.
we already covered that, what Vic said about, like, oh, Crow's probably got kids running around, but, you know, he's not a dad.
They don't know who he is because he never gives his real name.
Yeah,
That's smart.
they talked about,
Smart.
they talked about
Okay,
their favorite, they talked about their favorites and least favorite characters.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
Alright, so, Miles' favorite character is Crow, and he likes talking smack about Jean. Carrie's favorite is whoever was in the last scene he wrote. Erin's favorite is Neptune. Her least favorite is Mercury. And she also hates Adam. Kara's least favorite character is Jacques, and her favorites are the other girls on her team. Barbara likes Crow and Nora. She doesn't like Mercury, Adam, or Neo, or just anyone who gets in her way, so she's very much Yang. Lindsay loves Ty, and her least favorite character is Weiss. But she apparently said that as a joke. Gray's favorite character changes with his mood, but he wants to punch Adam.
Who doesn't want to punch Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want Adam to fuck more shit up.
How
Along with
can
Neo.
someone not
I don't even
like
care
Neo?
I don't even care about Blake, and I don't want to punch
Someone
Adam
not like Neo. Like, come on, Bob.
because she's definitely gonna kill somebody. That's why.
She
Yeah.
probably already has.
She's definitely definitely, but
She's totally killed people before, dude.
yeah, but she's still
Yep.
totally gonna kill somebody we care about. So
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, he wants
she
to make
can-
a bet
she's
now
gonna
on
kill
who
Winston.
Neo's gonna kill.
Winter.
Oh no, it would be you. You just jinxed it. It's gonna be winter.
Oh no!
I
I'm
mean,
good
that
for
was the line.
We'll talk about this in a
the-
second.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's a good transition? I think this is an excellent transition.
Well, there's a few more things to
I
cover.
think so, too.
They talked about the hardest scene to animate was the Fall of Beacon. They talked about like their most difficult scenes to act. A bunch of stuff we already knew. They did hire Dishwasher 1910, who is a very famous RWBY fan artist. In order
not
to do
a harbinger of what's to come. He
Yeah.
is not actually good at predicting anything at all.
yeah,
But
he's
he's
not,
predicting
he's not
death, and that's
Nostradamus.
it.
He's just a really good artist.
He's just a really, really, really good artist.
He's an amazing artist.
He's an amazing artist.
But,
he doesn't predict jack shit, but he's an amazing artist.
Yeah, he's working
He
as
predicts some shit.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth hired him as an artist on their new series, Genlock, which more on that later.
Isn't that the Mecca?
Yeah, it's
It's Gray's new pet
Genlock is
project.
Gray's pet project.
You'll be completely unsurprised to find that I'm very negative on the subject.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not that big of a fan of mech anime anyway, so.
I'm interested in new anime
I mean,
web
I
series.
grew up
maybe.
on Gundam, so I mean,
And-
No,
like-
I did too.
The only one
Well,
I've
one of
ever
my
been into was
favorite
Code
animes
Geass.
of all time is technically a mech anime, but it's not really a mech anime. So
also I really like Titanfall. Titanfall 2 was a really good game. The solo
Yes.
campaign was really, really good. You should play it. I promise.
it's
Be
but
a fan of
the mech thing isn't what bothers. The mech thing is not what bothers me. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a good transition. The only other thing that came from the panel, aside from, yeah, I'm not about to freaking roast reactors on this, but, we got the Weiss short, and it was released to the public, yesterday at the time of recording this. And
Yep.
it was really good.
It was nice. Yeah.
All right, I'll start this out with the biggest takeaway of this entire Weiss character short was the fighting choreography of this short was really good.
was very good.
Like it was really
it
good.
was great. Because like we didn't get to see Weiss like fight pretty much at all in Volume 4, so it was really nice
so
seeing
it
him
was
fight
kind of
again.
Yeah, and I saw
And seeing her
somebody,
like ballerina style too also was very
I love
refreshing.
her.
Also,
I love her fighting style so much.
I saw somebody on RWBY Republic, complaining about the action scene, and I only like glimpsed at it, and I clicked away, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna like comment on that and tell them just how wrong they are, and I couldn't find it again. They were like, why is Weiss stronger in this than she is in the other volleys? Like,
Because she's fighting Beowulf.
she's
I didn't
not.
know.
She's way slower, way
Yeah.
weaker. She's cutting through like apparitions, not actual Grim, and she's
Yeah.
having a hard time with them.
Winter could bump up the difficulty at any time.
And she
Yeah.
does.
And she totally did. But it's just the only thing I
We have a good
felt
exploit.
kind of bothered about was just her like obvious poses at some points, and I'm just like, are you like new at this weapon and you're just like having fun right now?
And the answer is yes.
No, she's trying to look graceful and defined.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
trying to be. Yeah, there's a couple other points of what, like her ponytail was actually straight back at this point, so clearly it was a flashback.
Yeah,
Right?
and she
wasn't-
did,
and
and
she
she did.
didn't
Well,
have a scarf.
even more telling than that is the lack of a scar.
And so many stupid
She wasn't
people who are
super
like,
yet.
where's the scar? It's a fucking flashback.
Dave, at the end of the
Yet.
episode, at the end of the trailer, she wakes up in her dress. Clearly, we're showing that it was a flashback. How stupid can you be?
Should have ended where it's like the captain comes onto the plane. It's like, please lock your trays up into the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. We are making our descent.
But she's a
Technically,
stowaway.
Stowaway, but yeah.
And she's sitting on her briefcase because she wouldn't be able to see out the window otherwise.
Yep.
The thing, Sock actually, I think it was Sock, posted that picture, of like fan art of her like sitting and she can't see out the window, so she like sets the briefcase down and then plops on it. And then I commented a photo from the actual Volume 4 finale, like, thing is, she actually is sitting on her briefcase in that part of the episode.
I don't think that was Sock.
Yeah.
It was somebody.
It was somebody. It has to have been somebody.
Yeah.
Yep. But so...
No, I think Sock commented on it before I did.
Oh, he totally commented.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But so, two other things that I took away from this, and I'm going to start... First of all, the fact that the fact that Weiss is dwelling on this, and she's dwelling on the fact that Winter told you're going to have to get stronger if you ever want to leave, makes me think that maybe she hasn't completely left everything behind, like, emotionally, even though she's left physically. Kind of like maybe she's maybe she's dealing with the possibility that she might be just where she was at the beginning of Volume 1, not necessarily past that, but maybe.
Well, I think it's more of she's at like 80%, not at 100%, if that makes sense.
Well, I think, again, like, this takes place before, so this is what I took away from it. This is before the White trailer, and so she's not, like, sick of her dad yet. Like, she hasn't gone through her actual character arcs. Like, this is, to me, this is the moment where she realizes just how awesome and powerful Winter is, and just the gap in their abilities, and maybe she even equates it to Winter having rebelled against her father and gotten stronger that way and struck out on her own. And so that's when Weiss is like, okay, Winter is this much more powerful than me. I'm going to do something similar to what she did, and that's when she like started wearing her ponytail off to the side. That's when she started to rebel. That's when she started to lash out. That's when she that's when she signed up to go to Beacon.
Yeah.
And just all that stuff. And now at the end of Volume 4, she has completely rebelled against Jacques. She has left. She has no reason to go back home. The only reason why she went back home at the end of Volume 3, as I stressed in my video and several other videos, is that she really still wants to be the heir of the SDC, and so she had to kind of play nice. But there was a line she was unwilling to cross, and Jacques crossed that line. She wasn't willing to cross that line, and that's why she lashed out, and that's why he took her inheritance, and that's why she left.
Yeah.
But she still looks up to Winter, and right now she's living in Winter's shadow. She's still, like, chasing after Winter, so to speak. And she's going to have to grow up. She can't rely on Winter. And I think I'm looking forward to Volume 5 and Weiss's part in Volume 5, because she's going to have to deal with that, and prevailing theory, she's going to have to deal with it quick, because... Death flags. Winter might not make it out of Volume 5 alive.
Yeah.
Said the line, I'm not always going to be here.
General, I won't always be here.
It's the line. Name one character.
I hope it's more like Winter refuses to help her until she helps herself. And only like barely supports her while she's like off doing her own thing. But
still. I don't want to be one of those crazy criers of doom, but this is the closest thing we've gotten to a death flag since Volume 3. Nothing in Volume 4 even came close, not even Crow getting poisoned.
I don't know. Crow getting poisoned was kind of a big death flag.
Well, when's the last time you watched it? When's the last time you watched a TV show where a character gets poisoned and then actually dies from it? Yeah, later in the season. I have never seen it. It's almost always just... Okay, now we have something else to do. We have to get this person an antidote.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why it wasn't a death flag for me at all. There was zero death flags in Volume 4.
It was just
as much as I love that guy who does the RWBY character status update charts, he vastly over predicted death flags in Volume 4, which is fine because he has to have death flags every season, or else he doesn't have jokes. So he's got to do it.
Yeah,
but
and also
I can't wait for the Neptune death flag.
But the thing is, like. That trailer, for me at least, like, I didn't see it at all as, like, she's still, like, not 100% committed. She's committed, because that's exactly what the trailer was. It was her realizing that flashback is kind of a point to prove that, like, no, she's fully committed. She can never, ever go back. And It's more that she's reflecting on the fact of, is she actually ready to do this? That's what she's thinking about.
I don't think she
Fair
was
enough,
ready
yeah.
to do it before because, like Media said, she was still the heiress and she still wanted to be the heiress so she could fix what was wrong with her grandfather's company that her father ruined. But then once she got disinherited, she was like, screw y'all. I'm leaving now.
So yeah, she's committed. It's just, I think flashing back and
I think she's afraid because
woke up so nervous was because she's worried she's not actually ready because of what Winter said.
Exactly. I think she's
just as a friendly
afraid because
reminder.
this is...
Oh wait, here's a good question. Who's the most out of the loop in compare? Is it Yang or is it Weiss? Who's the most out of the loop?
Might be Weiss.
What do you mean by out of the loop?
Is in like having no clue like what's going on.
Oh, then yeah, that's Weiss.
Probably Weiss, yeah.
What? Yeah. Actually.
With a close second of Yang.
I think it's actually Yang because Weiss at least knows about like the trade embargoes and stuff.
That is true. Yeah,
that's
true.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I think it is
So
Yang.
Yang, yeah, never mind.
Yang has no clue what she's driving into.
Although
right
in
now.
practice, it'll probably end up being Blake because they never know how to write her, and she'll look like the biggest idiot. So
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, so
Don't blame the characters, blame the writers.
let's do this.
well, that's what I mean. Because they don't know how to write her, so that's why.
Let's do this to kind of wrap up the podcast. So we're waiting for the Blake and Yang trailer.
Yes.
So
So
the reasonable assumption
let's
is.
theorize on this.
Yep. Okay, you have the magical power to inception the writers of RWBY to make sure that what you want is going to be put into it. Okay, well, let's just make this a little more reasonable. What do you expect from the Blake and Yang trailers, and what do you want from the Blake and Yang trailers? We're going to start from the top and work our way down.
Okay. So, dude.
Dokily. So, what I expect from the Blake and Yang trailers is, for Yang, I'm honestly expecting to be kind of disappointed, and it's just going to be her like riding on her bike and shit, and then maybe she gets to like she might reflect on something also, like some conversation she had with her dad before he left, and then she'll like show up in like the border of what's the city called where she's going?
Mistral.
Mistral.
Mistral proper, yeah.
Yeah, Mistral proper, exactly. Yeah, so maybe that's what I'm expecting, honestly. I'm expecting it to be pretty uneventful.
So,
What are you hoping?
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping... Well, okay, let me also say what I'm expecting for Blake, too. What I'm expecting for Blake is probably something, and she might flash back to something about Adam. I'm kind of almost expecting to do like a flashback theme thing then, if that's what they're going for. And she'll like maybe flashback something about Adam, and then she'll like be planning something. What I want for Yang is I want for Yang to be driving. I want something to trigger her, and I want her to suffer her PTSD again. That's what I want. So I want that to be a sign, because I want it's not over that shit, because that's bugging the hell out of me. And then for Blake, I want them to be actually doing some really intense planning, like with her parents and son, and then it cut out to like them being on the boat on the way to fucking Mistral. That's what I want for that. But I'm guessing they're going to give us like generic flashback fight scenes or something.
All right. So for Blake, what'll probably happen is we might, so assuming everything's going to be a flashback of some kind, it could probably be a flashback of whatever, and if Volume 1, or was it Volume 2? It was probably Volume 1, where Yang was like, first he said it was accidents, and then he just starts killing people. Like, maybe it should be like Blake witnessing Adam actually kill someone for the first time. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
yeah, that was actually in Volume 3 that Blake said that. Because it was after Yang broke Mercury's leg.
Broke in quotation marks.
Well, no, she broke it. It's just a mechanical leg, so he just had to fix it instead of
Different way,
heal.
yeah.
Leg machine broke. But that's probably what I would expect. Like, assuming it's going to be a flashback, what I feel would work the best would be basically meaning what Dude said is there's planning between, Blake, Son, and the parents, and then it just cuts to them getting straight on the boat, and then we play Guts' boat's adventure in Berserk for like the next 3.5 years. For Yang, what I expect from Yang is I can't say flashback whenever it comes to Yang. And I don't want to say that the Bandit Clan will just show up because there's just too much to happen in a trailer. So part of it wants to be where it's like, oh, I'm riding around on my motorcycle. I'm gonna stop and get me some soda and some Skittles. And then she's like, oh, let me check out this newspaper to catch up on current events. And then she keeps on driving, and then she has to like fight some grim monsters or something. Or maybe she does run into the Bandit Clan, who knows? Part of me wants it to be like, oh, I'm gonna go find RWBY, and then I get waylaid by the Bandit Clan, or I get swept up in this somehow. Or maybe someone like recognizes, well, actually, no, that would be not a bad idea for the plot point of, wait, never mind, no, she doesn't have Raven's last name. But, I mean, what I would want would be, she's riding along, and she's, like, pondering everything, and then she has to fight, and then that's where, like, she's fighting whatever she's fighting, but then she's also, like, fighting her fears at, like, the same time, too. Maybe, like, crap. Like, remember the open trailer, how she has, like, the ghost version of herself, almost? Like, that ghost version just sitting there, like, staring and, like, mocking her, like, while she's fighting or something like that. But, that's basically it. We just gotta wait, like, another month for it to come out. So yeah, we probably won't even know what's going to happen until like 2 or 3 weeks from now. So yeah.
By the way, real quick, we do need to touch on the Blaze Blue thing before.
Oh yeah, that thing.
That's the last thing we should talk about.
RWBY's in a fighting game. There you go. Done.
It's gonna be super awesome.
Who's next?
Maybe.
Keyboard is next.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what to expect for Yang. I mean, I kind of agree with what High Powered hopes is, like, it maybe Yang kind of fighting her PTSD or her ghost self, because I don't think she's over it, mostly because that is way too soon and we haven't lingered on it enough yet for her to be over it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would kind of hope that we can see a bit more of it. Of her PTSD, but they're definitely gonna be flashback fighting montages. I'm really certain on that. I just don't know what Yang would be flashing back to, like if it's gonna be something as far back as like Weiss's flashback is, and then which case I don't know if it's gonna be stuff to do with her mother again. Or...
I figured.
Yes,
it came to mind.
I have an idea about what it could be flashback, and I think you're gonna say it.
Oh, it's whatever. She's like, hey, let's pack up RWBY, and she tries to find her mom, and then Crow comes to save the day, because then we'll get small Yang and small RWBY.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be her fighting, because these trailers before were to show off their fighting moves and their weapons and kind of their personalities.
So that's...
I would love it to be that, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, so that's not entirely accurate, and I guess this will bridge into me if you're done.
No, I didn't talk about Blake yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, talk about Blake
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry, you're right.
Well, I mean, for Blake, I think that y'all are right too, because I think it is going to be something to do with Adam again. I think it's probably going to be something before Blake left, when she's starting to see the change in Adam and starting to understand that this is not right and something's really wrong here. And I don't know what they're going to be fighting, if it's going to be like something like Weiss said before that she's seen in Volume 1 when she's talking about why I'm a victim. And she's talking about how she's seen like people from her grandfather's company executed and lost friends. I don't know if it's going to be something to do with that, or maybe it's going to be something to do with the change in how the White Fang worked after her father stepped down and the new person Senna took over. But I would love it to have them kind of looks like they're focusing on what their plan is once they get to minstrel. But it probably is going to be a flashback to her time at the White Fang again.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm done. You can go, media.
So they said that not all these trailers are going to be combat centric. I think, so
it's totally going to be
That fits with my. That fits with both of my. That fits with
trying to
both of
play the lottery
my
here.
theories. Then.
I think one of them will be combat centric and the other one won't be. So my initial guess, as of RTX, was that Blake's was going to be like focused on her planning and getting like all that out of the way, and Yang's was going to be like her wandering into a town and fighting a bunch of Grimm or fighting the bandits. But now that I've actually seen the White trailer, I think they might do flashbacks for all three, and I think it's going to highlight the most important relationship for each of the character for this volume. And for Weiss, it's her relationship with Winter. For Blake, it's going to focus on her and Adam. And for Yang, her and Ruby.
Yeah.
I want I want the Yang flash. I don't really care about what the Blake flashback is. It could be anything that you guys have said. It could be something totally different. But for the Yang flashback, I want it to be focused on something from Yang and Ruby's childhood or from their youth or something. And maybe them dealing with the death of Summer Rose. Like the whole Yang wins mommy coming home comic that I shared the other day.
There's a lot of those, man. Those are
there's a lot of those.
Feels, man.
That's so sad.
Please take away the bowl of onions.
Then something else I wanted to add about Yang. I really don't think it's going to be anything to do with the bandits, because that's going to be a pretty huge plot
I think the bandits they're saving for the series proper.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're totally saving up.
High Power just really wants bandits, and I don't blame him for wanting the bandits, because, I mean, Raven's
the bandits are coming!
I want Raven already.
Yeah.
She's really good looking, and there's a lot of good art of her.
Her skirt's really short. It's even shorter than Pyrrha's, I think. Jesus Christ.
Oh, totally. You can get, like, so many panty shots from that.
Yeah. But they're wearing, like, spats/hot pants, though, so, I mean, it's like...
Who wears short shorts? Do.
I think it's Robert's turn at Media's done.
So as far as what I think they might do, I think Blake might actually be the one that doesn't focus so much on combat. So I think the Blake one will probably be them planning for the future of, you know, what they're going to do about the White Fang when they get there and stuff like that. Maybe, hopefully, go a little more into Sun and stuff like that. And probably also, I do think, probably would also, you know, flash back to when Blake, or probably what you guys were talking about the first time, like Blake saw Adam kill someone and stuff like that. And then with Yang, I actually do agree that we probably would get a flashback to, like, Chibi Yang or something like that, maybe when the first time that, like, when she and Ruby nearly died, maybe the aftermath of that or something like that, or something along those lines. As far as what I would like to do, as far as what I would do if I like you said, could Inception it, I would give Blake, like, kind of a training montage type of thing out in the Menagerie Desert, because we've had this implication that it's hostile, that it's not somewhere that can be settled. I'm guessing that's because of the Grimm, and so just a little bit, something I was talking about earlier is that they need to show us this kind of thing instead of just implying it. So I would like a little training montage, and also like something that shows her working with Sun, kind of learning to trust someone again. And then with Yang, what I would do with that is I would try to highlight Yang's PTSD by having her walk into Mistral and get recognized as the girl who injured one of Mistral's students during, one of Haven's students during the Vinyl Festival. Yeah, and basically a bunch of people come at her and try to start a brawl with her and stuff like that. And she fights back, but then starts having flashes and ends up basically getting mugged and stuff like that and can't defend herself because of her PTSD because of what happened. So, yeah. That's what I would do.
That was so good we all started interrupting you.
Sorry.
No, I did it too. No, I did it too.
That's a good idea, man.
That really is. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's true. That's a really good thing to bring back. That it's such a good idea. Yeah, they probably won't do it.
It's such a good idea. Suspense. Dude is full of suspense today.
And this is why I said it's such a good idea they probably won't do it.
Oh. I didn't get to bum us out like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they need more than 2 people writing the show, because you need people to think of these kind of ideas and stuff.
They should just put us on the show, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, at least media.
They should just hire me. Media
They can hire you for the Renora stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
All the Renora shit.
And
Well, actually, in fairness to them, that's one of the only things they're consistently doing really well. So,
Renora? Yeah.
yeah, they are. They've actually done.
I'll just watch them break Renora.
I'm just gonna
Alright.
say this: if I ever become a writer on this show, it's gonna get hard to watch with how much misery I'm gonna freaking start dishing out on RWBY in particular.
I mean, I watch Game of Thrones. I watch Game of Thrones, so I don't see it getting much worse.
I mean,
than that.
anybody who
Game of Thrones, what's that?
anybody who reads,
No, it's just this really. It's like this kind of overrated
Yeah.
show.
yeah,
That's the one that has the boobs in it, right?
yes,
Yeah,
the sex?
Yeah, all that too. The dragons too. I watch it for the dragons.
Literally figuratively, or just mostly figuratively?
I usually stop paying attention after some time in Game of Thrones. It's become overrated to me.
Aw.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for closing
yeah,
statements.
yeah.
and then we can-
Anybody who's read RWBY Beyond knows how I write my
Yeah.
villains.
Very well.
Also,
You're doing a
Ruby's
good
in the
job.
new Blaze Blue game. We thought that she was getting her own fighting game, but she's not. She's just in an actual Blaze Blue game,
Oh,
I
that
want
is
to see
the...
that.
Ah, dang it. That's
Fine by
which
me.
which is
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it's okay.
Bad, depending on your perspective. You're cool to have more RWBY characters playable, but it's also
It's
actually be RWBY will actually be played in EVO one day, probably, because I think that's the next actual Blaze Blue game. But either way, you have RWBY characters in a legitimate fighting. It is Arc Systems,
Deal.
and Arc Systems
RWBY games.
are
RWBY
really, really good at making
fighting
fighting
games.
games.
It's the first step to RWBY and Justice.
What would that look like?
Except made by
That
Arc
would be
Systems, so-
awesome.
except it'll be made by.
Again, like
What do I know? I like Smash Melee. So.
yeah, my dream RWBY game is basically a RWBY version of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. So
Yes.
And when I say what do I know?
3D super kinetic action.
Yes.
versatility,
I would love
yeah.
that.
And when I say what do I know, I mean that in terms of I just don't know tradition.
I just love fighting
Smash-
games. They're like,
Smash Melee is way harder than traditional fighters. Fight me if you believe otherwise. It's really difficult.
I love fighting games. They're like
And
the
only-
only games I was
Only
decent
Smash
at as a
Melee.
child.
Only Smash Melee.
Very well.
The
All
other
right,
Smash games are actually pretty easy. Anyway.
All right, I think it's time for closing statements, and then we can shut her down.
All right, me first then, I guess, this
Yep.
time?
Yep.
Okay. Really enjoying RWBY Chibi this volume. I think it's hilarious. I love the new guy that they've hired. And I liked the trailer. It's hopefully gives more... Hopefully it means we're going to get some more Winter Before She Dies. So that's awesome. I'm excited about that. Internet stuff. It's very obvious. She's not that deep of a character. And a character that will die. So yeah,
A
that's
huge
why.
motivation.
I love her,
Nice.
but it's very obvious. She fits that profile very easily. So there you go. Who's next?
High powered.
I just want the trailers, and I just want the new episode to come out. I mean, when I say new episode, I just want the new volume to come out. October 14th can't come around quicker.
I know.
Yeah.
And then we play the game of, oh hey, nothing's happening again for the better part of a year.
Yeah, I say whenever this new Blaze Blue game comes out, we need to all get it and like have our own tournament.
Yes.
Okay.
I vote this.
Oh, great.
Stream it because I
gotta play an act.
Yeah, because
See who's the least scrub out of all of us.
I just hit 100 subscribers, so I can do like the super stream stuff.
I would annihilate all of you.
Man, I gotta play an actual fighting game instead of actual fighting games.
I call RWBY.
I'll get wrecked.
I
I
call
only gotta play
RWBY.
Melee. I'm decent at Melee, but... And Blaze Blue is one of the hardest fighting games, if you guys didn't realize that. It's actually famous for being one of the
Never
more
played it.
complex ones. Oh, yeah, Blaze Blue is like really,
I thought
really
that was
interesting.
Tekken.
It is really hard.
Oh, Tekken's difficult.
They're all difficult. Fighting games are way harder than FPSs. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
I think Mortal
they're harder than
Kombat is the easy. No, Street Fighter just sucks now. But
Street Fighter's garbage.
the last couple of Mortal Kombat and also the Injustice games have been pretty freaking easy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
the
like
Injustice games.
yeah,
so.
but like the anime fighters, like Arc Systems does not make easy fighting games. They're known for making difficult.
Live
fighting
was
games.
easy, too.
They make excellent tutorials, but they make difficult games. But no, like really good fighting games and Melee are all harder than like FPSs, and they're all harder than MOBAs because MOBAs are just really dumbed down RTSs. But
Dead or Alive was easy, too.
MOBAs are really easy.
Yeah. Dead or
Overall.
Alive was my brother's favorite, so I
If
played
you're
that the
talking in
most.
relative terms, I mean everything's easier than StarCraft. StarCraft is impossibly hard at every level. Even I will admit that Melee is way easier than StarCraft.
Wow.
So, but anyway, Arc Systems makes it's not an easy one to pick up. It's not
Beyond.
as simple as the. It's they're not super easy.
All right, media.
I love Weiss. I love this trailer. I'm really digging Chibi, as I always have. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this new fighting game. It'll be the first fighting game that I've actually bought since Tekken. No, like Tekken 4, I think, is the last fighting game I bought. Maybe it was Tekken 5.
Last real fighting game I bought was Street Fighter 4.
Oh well, I guess Smash Brothers for the Wii U I bought.
Ugh, that game is Satan though.
But as far as traditional fighting games go, I haven't bought a fighting game since like Tekken 4, Tekken 5, somewhere around there,
Yeah.
like PS2 era.
I think we
yes, that's
skipped
it.
you, Kitten.
So my closing thought is just that I love Weiss. Neo is totally gonna kill Winter, and Raven used to work with Salem. And if you disagree, bite me.
Nice.
Man, now we should really feel bad for skipping you. That was great. As if we shouldn't have already.
Yep.
So,
So yeah, sorry. But yeah, I really like this trailer. I'm looking forward to the future. Looking forward to more Chibi, and yeah, as far as Winter potentially dying, I mean, like I said, closest thing we've gotten to a death flag so far, and I mean, she is a mentor, and they do tend to become like crutches and stuff like that if they stick around for too long. So either Weiss needs to surpass her, or she's gonna bite the big one. So yeah, sorry.
it'd be good motivation for Weiss.
That's also true. Yeah.
I also love Weiss. Weiss is probably my second favorite individual character. So I mean, I want her to flourish. I want her to do well. So I don't want anybody holding her back.
I want her to suffer.
Yeah. So was that it?
Yeah. So let me finish this bite of cereal.
You've been eating this whole
Yes,
podcast.
I've been eating cereal this entire podcast.
If anybody watches the Collateral podcast, you are the dodger of this episode.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. But if
She
you
eats
like,
in every episode. She's always eating.
if you liked this podcast and you want to hear us talk more, like, comment, and subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers, so yay me. I am Mediocrity4. I do videos. I talk about RWBY. I talk about other movies that I actually like. I am also a writer. I write the RWBY on fanfiction. I also wrote Just Act Casually. Just Act Maturely is coming out next month. I am also currently RWBY On is on hold until Volume 5 starts back up. And I also write Guardians of Terra. Link will be in the description. And I am also writing a detective story as part of a writing contest. So I'm working on that. More info on that in the future when I actually have more of it done. What else do I have? You can check us all out on RWBY and Beyond Facebook group. Yeah.
RWBY and Beyond.
Also
We're less toxic than RWBY Republic. That's basically our slogan.
Yeah, we're like the less toxic. We have all the same kind of stuff that RWBY Republic does, but nowhere near as many people, so nowhere near as many dumb people.
Yeah, and less.
It's so chill.
There are less boobs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which may disappoint some people.
Yeah.
We allow the same amount of lewdness they do. We just have less people posting it. So.
Oh. Yeah, way too
Come on down,
people.
because we need more of that.
If you want to be our lewd posting person, then come on down. We're missing that stereotypical person in our Facebook.
I do almost all of it.
Yeah, you do all. You and Ballsy do all of it for the Discord.
It's too much
you guys do for the Discord.
You do the stuff we can't show on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Facebook will like hammer ban us with half the stuff you post. So that's it for me.
Well, I'm Robert. You can like you said, you can find me on RWBY and Beyond. I'm always being a smartass posting stuff. So still working on converting some of these things into video essays. Just been kind of slammed lately, but trying to work on some of that stuff. Also, I'm planning on I think I'm going to start posting some articles that are related to Game of Thrones because I actually have still been enjoying what's been going on there. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. You're fine, kid. And I understand it's not for you.
I used to really like Game of Thrones. It's after time something gets to go too long for me, and I get tired of it.
I understand. Yeah.
Hey, it's RWBY and Beyond. You can post Game of Thrones stuff as much as you want, man.
Yeah, totally. I encourage that.
Yeah, thank you.
But please make that convert that what is it the essay you did a long conversation that thankfully doesn't need to happen.
Yes, I know.
Please make that into a video before.
I know. I'll do that. I'm gonna try to do that when Kitty Kirishima is feeling better and when I can figure out how to record things the way we do here on the podcast. So yeah.
OBS. That's what I do.
Yeah.
OBS. Thank you. Yeah.
The BS.
OBS is really good.
All right.
OBS is what I used to use also.
OBS.
I used OBS.
Yep.
Also.
Anyone else got anything to plug shamelessly?
Nope.
Well, my name's Keyboy Kitten. I don't have a YouTube channel yet, but stay tuned. And also, I'm just the stalker on RWBY On, so I will most likely just like everyone's posts there.
Yep.
I have a YouTube channel about hair and clothing and stuff like that, so I realize I've never mentioned that before.
Yeah, you haven't. I want to say this YouTube channel now.
But I do have that. It is a thing. It does exist, and I have almost 1,000 subscribers, which is not very many, but it's it's more than I would get making RWBY videos. So
yeah, I'm sitting. I've gotten like 3 subscribers since yesterday because of that Weiss video.
No, I made RWBY. I did make RWBY videos. I got like a total of like 2 subscribers making 2 videos. So
yeah.
So High Powered was here too, but he just left.
Yeah, he just pieced.
Yeah, he's still working on Operator Man.
Yeah, he is working. I've read it and gone over some of it with him too. Definitely a clever concept that I'd like to see I really want to see him implement.
So I do art too. I mean, I'm not as good as like Dishwasher or Kirishima or people like that, but I do art too, and I'm trying to work on doing more fan art for RWBY. There we go. That's my plug. I'm done.
There you go.
All right, I think that's it. I think we could call it a night.
Yep.
So, thank you for listening to this 2-hour-long podcast. It did not go anywhere near as long as I thought it would.
Me too.
I know, yeah, we said
Yep.
it
have
was
a-
I think
relatively
it went
short,
way
right?
longer than High Power thought it would.
Yeah.
Bye!
Bye.
Night, y'all.